The current time is 6:44 p.m. The question and answer portion of the public hearing just ended. If you had questions about this case, I hope you were able to get those answers. If you had questions, I hope you were able to get answers to those questions. The Missouri Public Service Commission has set aside this time today for a local public hearing in file number WR-2024-0320, which is a general rate case captioned as, in the matter of the Missouri American Water Company's request for authority to implement a general rate increase for water and sewer service provided in its Missouri service areas. My name's John Clark. I'm the regulatory law judge presiding over this hearing this evening. The Missouri Public Service Commission regulates the rates charged by investor-owned utility companies in Missouri to ensure that those rates are just and reasonable. The Commission also regulates the quality of service and the safety of operations of investor-owned utilities in Missouri. The Commission is made up of 5 commissioners. The Commission's chair, Kayla Hahn, and Commissioners Maida Coleman, Jason Holzman, Glenn Kolkmeyer, and John Mitchell. The commissioners are appointed by the governor to fixed terms and confirmed by the Senate. The commissioners employ a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the area of utility regulation. And with me tonight in person is Commissioner Glenn Kolkmeyer and the chair, Kayla Hahn, and Maida Coleman, Jason Holzman, and John Mitchell are listening in online. Commissioner Kolkmeyer, would you like to make an opening remark?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Good evening. On behalf of Chair Hahn and the rest of the commissioners, I want to welcome you here tonight. This is step 1 in a rate case hearing, so we haven't heard anything much or anything from the company. So this is step 1. We're here to hear from you, the consumer. Why is there only one of us here tonight? We're scattered all over the state. The 5 of us, we live all over the state. So we cover the hearings that are in kind of on our side of the state. So that's why I'm here and the others are on WebEx here tonight. So here again, welcome, and we're here to hear your comments from you, the ratepayers. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, I'd like the parties to enter their appearance for the record, starting with Missouri American Water Company.
Thank you, Judge. Dean Cooper from the law firm of Bryden, Swearingen in England, PC, P.O. Box 456, Jefferson City, Missouri 65102, appearing on behalf of Missouri American Water Company.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. On behalf of the Commission staff.
My name is Andrea Hansen, and I am with the Missouri Public Service Commission Staff Counsel's Office. That's Andrea, A-N-D-R-E-A, Hansen, H-A-N-S-E-N. Address is going to be 200 Madison Street, P.O. Box 360, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65102.
Thank you, Ms. Hansen. On behalf of the Office of the Public Counsel.
John Kleiser, on behalf of the Missouri Office of the Public Counsel. My contact information is in the record.
Thank you, Mr. Kleiser. There are a number of interveners in this case. Are there any interveners present? I hear none. Now, for those who would like to provide comments today, I'm going to call the names listed on the sign-up sheet in the order they appear. And if I could get that sign-up sheet, that would be great. When I call your name, please come up to the podium here. I will place you under oath because the Commission takes comments under oath. I will ask you to state and spell your name, and then you may give your comments to the Commission. I'm going to ask so that everybody gets an opportunity who would like to offer comments to the Commission, that you keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Also, please remain at the podium after you've offered your comments, and that's because either the commissioners or myself may have questions for you. And if any of the attorneys have questions for anyone who is giving comments tonight, please let me know and I'll let you ask your questions. And we have a court reporter that has joined us online, and that court reporter is taking down everybody's comments so that there is a transcript of the comments this evening that the commission can reference. Now, as Commissioner Kolkmar pointed out to you, the commission will not be able to answer any of your questions today. That's what the Q&A portion was for, and that's because the commissioners and myself have to remain impartial until all the evidence is presented at the evidentiary hearing. If you do have questions, please speak to the representatives from the company, the Office of the Public Counsel, or the commission's staff. Also, you may not everyone may agree, but as you come up to offer your comments, I'm going to ask that everybody respect the people who are giving comments and treat them as they would like to be treated. And so allow everybody to make their comments, don't interrupt them, and don't comment on the comments from the gallery. Okay, thank you very much. And the first name I have, and if I butcher your name, please let me know, and I'll try and fix that. Richard, is it Sharp?
Sure, that's it. Do you mind if I take this off here? Is that okay?
I think that's just fine. Would you raise your
Okay.
right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give at this local public hearing are the truth?
I do.
And would you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Richard Sharp, R-I-C-H-A-R-D-S-H-A-R-P.
And Mr. Sharp, what would you like to tell the commission tonight?
Okay, I have 9 points I'd like to make. Some facts that the public needs to know is that the CEO, Susan Hardwick of American Family Water, has a salary package of $7,720,000. I won't go into change. Now, this does not include board members and executive salaries. Point number 2, the average salary for an employee at American Water is $88,203, and an hourly rate of $42 an hour. The highest earners, which are in the top 75% percentile, are paid over $99,000. American Water, Inc. paid 58.79% of company earnings in dividends to their investors. Now, this is really good. The only problem is we're paying the bill. Number 4, American Water in 2023 paid $414,000 in contributions to political people and a total of $2.3 million in lobbying activities. Number 5, in 2003, Evergy Energy had a 7.2% rate hike, and on the average, it increased the bill from $143 to $175. Number 6, in May of 2023, American Water received an average of $18 a month in a 27% increase. Now they are asking once again, and numbers are being thrown all over the place. I had 27%, but it looks like there's a 47.3% according to the paper that I have out here. Bottom line is, it really doesn't matter when you start throwing these numbers around. Bottom line is that the public's going to have increases of about 50% in their utilities. And so I don't know about everybody else, but on Social Security, we got a 2.5% pay raise, okay? So it doesn't quite match up here. Like we said before long, we're going to be paying a mortgage payment on our utilities. Number 8, the Public Service Commission approves, and I believe that they will, because they usually do, these increases on the utilities rounded up, as I said, is around 50%. Last one, I urge the commission to stop these increases in this particular time, and especially with inflation the way that it is right now. These utility companies seem to think that they have the right to come back every year and hit us with some kind of a 10, 15, 18% pay raise because of their capital expenditure. I don't know about you, but when I do home improvements or I do something to my house, I don't get to go to Social Security and say, hey, I need a 10% increase so that I can pay this expenditure. Now, the lady over here asked once before, I just want to finish with this last thing. Total assets for American Water, $30.3 billion, an increase of 9% from the previous year. Net income for American Water, $1.5 billion, a decade high. Operating revenue was $4.2 billion, increase of 11.7%. And a capital expenditure, which was asked earlier, is $2.6 billion. I say for that 2.6, why don't we let American Water use some of their profits up here to relieve some of this on the people in the public? That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Mr. Sharp, could you, please don't take the microphone.
Yeah.
Mr. Sharp, I have one question for you, and I think I have an idea of why you said this. You brought up Evergy having a 7% increase. Is that correct?
I think it was 7.2%.
Okay. What's the significance of Evergy in relation to this? Is it just for contrast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you add up those increases that the public has had to swallow, between the 7.2 and now the 40-some-odd% that they want, we've got about a 50% increase in our utilities. The figure that I actually had was 18. I took it right off of Google, so I wasn't that brilliant, okay? But if you look at it, I think they said we were going to get an $18 pay raise again. We had one last year. We're going to get one this year. But then when I looked at your papers, it says 43 point something. So numbers and statistics really don't mean anything because you get numbers and statistics all over. But the bottom line is, I don't care how you add it up, you're going to be up around 40% increase to the public.
And you understand that the commission has not approved a rate?
Oh, yes, sir. I hope, yes, I do. And that's the reason why I urge you, please let these people with their profits that I just mentioned right there, let them absorb some of this instead of the public constantly having to absorb these absorbent rate increases.
Thank you, Mr. Sharp.
bet.
That was very pointed, and I liked your 9 points.
Thank you.
Kayla Marmod, is that correct?
Marmid.
Say that again, please.
Marmid.
Marmid? Ms. Marmid, would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
And would you please state and spell your name for the court reporter?
Kayla Marmid, Kayla Marmaud.
And what would you like to tell the commission this evening?
Good evening. I work for Community Action Partnership of Greater St. Joe. We're a community action agency that serves Andrew Buchanan, Clinton, and DeKalb County. We are a partner with Missouri American Water in providing critical water assistance to low-income residents through their Help to Other program. Thank you, Missouri American Water, for those. I'm here today to express our deep concern about the proposed rate increase. While we understand the need for infrastructure improvement and operation costs, we also consider the impact on our most vulnerable residents. So far this year, we have pledged $20,927 in assistance for Missouri American Water bills through this program, helping 126 households. Of these households, 13 have somebody who is 60 or over, 63 have children, and 4 have both children and elderly residents. The program offers a maximum payment of $250, with the average assistance payment being $167.41. It's important to note that all of these households are at or below the 200% federal poverty guidelines. With the projected increases, the average family would see an additional $216 per year based on the information provided by Missouri American Water's website. When you're living on a fixed income or limited financial resources, even an extra $18 a month can be a significant burden. Unfortunately, due to limited funding, we often find ourselves unable to assist all eligible applicants. The rate increase will worsen the problems, forcing us to turn away more households in need of critical water assistance. The impact of this rate increase extends beyond mere numbers. It means denying essential water services to families, seniors, and individuals. We urge the commissions to carefully consider the impact of this rate increase on low-income families. We believe that there must be a balance between the needs of the utility company and the affordability of essential services for our community members. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, and that went by pretty quick, so I've got a couple little questions for you. You said there were you have is it a $20,000 grant? Is that correct?
We get, through their Help to Others programs, we get money quarterly. So far this year, those are the amounts of money that we have paid in bills.
It's $20,000?
$20,927.
Okay, and of the households you said 13 have older residents, correct?
Yep, 13 have elderly, 63 have children in the homes, and then 4 have both children and elderly residents.
Now, and I don't know whether you said it or not, I didn't get it down. What's the total number of households?
So far this year, we've helped 126 households.
Commissioner Kolkmar?
Yes. Thank you for testifying. What connection do you have with Missouri American Water?
So we're a community action agency, so their Help to Other program. We get the money quarterly to help pay Missouri American Water bills.
Okay, you're paying them. Do they give any money back to you?
So they give us the money quarterly that we then use to help pay low-income families' bills.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
And next I have Randy or Diana Latham.
Our points have already been made by Mr. Sharp and this young lady that was just up there. Oh, you do? Never mind.
Of course, I want to
Well,
say
Randy, I'm going to
something.
leave you seated. I'm going to let Diana speak. Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
And would you please state and spell your name for the court reporter?
Diana Latham, Diana Latham.
And what would you like to tell the commission tonight?
Okay, out of 126 families that are helped in St. Joe area under community missions, I would like to see the other numbers also that they are not able to help, and other agencies that are not able to help, because I know there's people living out there in their home without certain utilities because of all these increases that y'all think you need. I don't think we feel that way, and a lot of other citizens don't feel that way. Our pockets are only so deep. We can only give you so much. And we were on Social Security, and like the gentleman said, we get a 2-point-whatever% increase, and now y'all want to take it. And I asked the question before, what about senior citizens getting a reduction in their water bills and their light bills and their sewer bill? We don't see that happening. We're still paying an ungodly amount of money to live, just basic needs. Now, then you have the elderly that also, they have everything paid, but they have no money for food, groceries. So they're going to InterServe, they'll go into other places to get food. So they're not even getting a choice of what they eat. They're given peas and beans and simple little things like that. That's not even luxury food, which isn't fair to our citizens that are elderly, that have worked all their life to make a living. And now they may be doing without utilities, food, health, medical. So I don't see where you should have a big increase. I don't see where that money's going to, except your income to your household, which you don't care if your utilities go up, because, hey, man, you're making a lot of money a year. There's a lot of people out here that's not making that kind of money. They're lucky to make $15,000 a year, $20,000 a year. Can you imagine? Put yourself in that place and trying to pay rent or mortgage, insurance on a car, maybe a car payment, and then you have all your utilities and taxes. Now you got to put gas in the car, food on the table. Where's that money going to come from? Anybody have any idea? They don't either. They don't know. They're doing their very best just to survive without making their children starve, while big profit utility companies keep pocketing that money, donating the money we're paying y'all to candidates in politics. We didn't ask you to do that. And my husband said, you might not want to bring up this whole thing about water, but God created water. It's free. Y'all get the water for free. It comes from the clouds, comes from evaporation, comes from the ground, comes from the oceans and streams and rivers, and you're not even paying for that. Now, wait a minute. Let's say God's going to send you a bill for that water. He wants an increase. How's that? Does those boots fit? Probably not for y'all. Doesn't fit for us either to have such a huge increase, because people just don't have this kind of money anymore. People are starting to collect rainwater and off the roofs and water in gardens and trying to save where they can. We can't even turn on our lights whenever we want. We can't wash and dry clothes whenever we want, because we have to be controlled by the utility company we have to choose. Oh, do you want to use your dryer at a certain time, or do you want to not use it between 4 and 8? And so that limits you. So if you got something to do, well, that's just too bad. I can't dry these wet clothes until after 8 o'clock at night. Is that fair? Is that fair to us? No. And I know we're not talking about lights tonight, but I'm just saying the utility bit is just getting way too high. And for me, I'm against this huge increase. Thank you so much.
Ms. Latham? Yes. Would it be fair to summarize that your major concern is that people on a fixed income are having to make difficult decisions between essential services, food, medicine, and utilities?
Yeah, they are. Where am I going to get the money for food when I'm paying all you guys all this huge amount of money for utility? It's sad. It's totally sad that people think it has to be this way. It's not making huge amounts of money. You know what? I have an 8th Street Backpackers group. It's just a community group. I don't get paid for it. I don't get gas for it. I don't get nothing for it, except blessed by God and be able to bless other people. I'm doing this on my own, out of my own pocket, with some help with people in the community. If I'm able to budget like that, I think y'all should be able to do that too. Cut some wages, cut some positions, cut donating here and donating there. That's our money. Put it back into your big upgrades and all that stuff. Put that money there instead of putting it on us to pay it. Yeah, there are a lot of people in St. Joe that are on fixed income, whether they're elderly, disabled, just low income in general. Both people are working in the household, and they're trying to make ends meet, and they still can't. They can't buy shoes and clothes for their children. They have to go to the community outreach centers and me to get something for their kids to wear.
Okay.
It's sad. It's just sad that y'all sitting up on your high throne making all this money, and here we've got so many poor people that can't even eat and eat nutritional food. What are you going to eat tonight? Well, I got a can of peas. I got some beans.
Okay. Ms. Latham?
Yes.
Thank you for your comments.
You're welcome.
Kenyon Watkins? Mr. Watkins, would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you are about to tell the commission tonight are the truth?
Yes.
Okay, and would you please state and spell your name for the record?
Kenyon Watkins, Kenyon, Watkins.
And
my-
Mr., I
yes.
apologize, go ahead.
My point tonight, which I brought up earlier, is I want to know what is the justification for this massive increase. I do work for manufacturing, and we have to do capital investments all the time, and they're expensive. But I cannot get an over 40% increase for my products. I have competitions that would be happy to undercut me and drive me out of business. This, unfortunately, is a situation where they do have a monopoly, and I just want to know what exactly am I getting, what capital investments, and particularly in my neighborhood, in Clinton Estates, that justifies them getting well over 40%. Now, when they first bought our place, we were spending slightly over $44, and now they're asking $83 in 4 years. Well, I'd love to get that much for the products that we manufacture, but we can't. And if we could, I'd be retired right now. So that's my concern. And with that, if this is allowed, what about future? And still coming up with large increases at some point. And I'm not screaming hardship. I'm just cheap. I want something worth my money. So that really is my concern. And they are going to send me information about my particular place in Clinton Estates, which I appreciate. And so that's pretty much my concerns.
Okay. Mr. Watkins, thank you for your comments. As I indicated earlier, the commission can't answer questions today. That's what the Q&A portion was. I'm glad that the company is going to be sending you some information.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Watkins. Frederick Windish? Mr. Windish, did I say your name right?
Close enough.
How much do we pay lobbyists? Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you
Ready?
solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
And would you please state and spell your name for the court reporter?
Frederick, that's no K, Whiskey, India, November, Delta, India, Sierra, Charlie, Hotel. They can't even spell it right at the bank.
And what would you like to tell the commission today?
Well, actually, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't get very much notification to be able to compile decent questions. But from listening here, we're paying something like $2.3 million to a lobbyist group. Are you not a monopoly?
And I'm just going to say this real quick. There's multiple entities here. So there's the company, there's the commission, there's the Office of the Public Counsel, and there's the staff here. So
They're all operated as pretty much as a monopoly. There's only one commission, there's only one water company, there's only one of each, right?
I believe that would be correct.
Okay. So why are we paying $2.3 million in lobbyists to entities that are operating singly when you got a whole bunch of lobbyists right here that work for free? And you charge us in the meantime. I mean, you got a bazillion customers. Is the water company public? Can I buy stock in it? Or are the investors private?
Again, I'm going to say the commission can't answer your questions today in regard to that.
Do they have like a New York Stock Exchange short code? Is there some way to look up the basics?
I think those are all questions for the company.
Okay.
This is the comment portion.
Well, like I say, I'm starting from zero. None of this is easily accessible. I couldn't invent a phrase that would pull any of this up in the hours leading up to today's meeting. Is there an estimate how long this 30-something% increase is supposed to stave off further improvements? Is this going to be like a year's worth of work?
Again, and you keep asking questions, and
There-
as I indicated before, the commission has to remain neutral until after the evidentiary hearing.
Are they not being recorded so the company can read them?
Are these questions, are these comments? Yes, the court reporter's taking them down. The transcript will be filed in the case.
I don't need to hear an answer. It does make these people think, I'm pretty sure. And those few details are what I've come up with so far.
Mr. Windisch? Oh, go ahead.
I think one more. Go ahead.
No, you were going to say something.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to thank you for your comments, but you're not finished yet. And it appears that one of our attorneys has a question. Mr. Kleiser?
Yes, I'm afraid. You used a phrase, I could not invent a phrase, in describing your difficulty in attempting to get information about this.
Search term.
Okay, so when you're saying that, you mean to say that you had difficulty finding information about this meeting using a Google or other internet search function? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's like not public at all.
Did you actually receive a physical copy of the notice of this?
No.
Okay.
With that sheaf of papers that was on the table are words that I would have used in a search, trying to arrange them so Google will respond. There was nothing about this here tonight, not a peep.
How did you find, what led you to be here tonight?
I was told by somebody with a card that was taking their mother to Kansas City for a doctor's appointment, I can't get back in time. Go at 6 o'clock. Okay, I will.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I had no further questions.
Thank you for your comments. And I apologize, I'm having a hard time reading this next name. Is it James Henning? Did I say your name correct, sir? Yes, sir. And Mr. Henning, would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give at this local public hearing are the truth?
I do.
And would you please state and spell your name for the court reporter?
James Henning, James Henning.
And what would you like to tell the commission tonight?
So we're in a rural section of the county, and we try to be self-sustaining. We have 20 chickens. I like to grow, it's hard to get wheat around here, so I grow a little patch of wheat. Well, our monthly water bill, when we was in the drought here just recently, jumped from $70 to $135, and this is before any increases. And my little patch of wheat may make 2 bushels of wheat, which is worth $8. So that's before the increases. So I just wanted to come up here and just make that comment. It's ridiculous that we have to pay that much for water.
Okay, and I'm just trying to follow here. When you said it went from 70 to 135 without an increase, what caused it to go up?
Because I was watering the wheat to get it up because I planted it during the drought.
Okay, so when you say 70 to 135, you're talking about the difference between your bill when you're not watering wheat as opposed to watering wheat?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no questions for you. Thank you for your comments. Richard McLaughlin? And I feel like I didn't say that right.
No, you're pretty close.
Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
And would you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Richard McLaughlin, RICHARD MCLAUCHLEN.
And what would you like to tell the commission today?
I just have 2 points right now, and it has to go back to those who just don't have enough in this community. We have an organization here that has plenty of money available. They have a lot of employees that I'm sure are overpaid. They have a lot of expenses, I know. Now, here in St. Joe, there are a lot of people that are on a lot of prescription medicines. And this is also along with having to pay utilities, rent, or house payment, or whatever there is. But a lot of people who are on fixed incomes, and they do not have an opportunity to decide what they're going to pay each month, what bills, or their medicines, or what. And there's a lot of people that are suffering because of it. I have one particular individual that's a friend of mine, and he was an Air Force veteran, and he had so much problem with his overhead and stuff that he actually ended up living on the street for a period of time. And then we finally were able to find people to help him get off the street. That's not just an isolated case. There are a lot of individuals like that in this community. Now, I'm retired, and I'm on a fixed income also, but I'm not in as bad a position as a lot of people. If our rates are increased, I can still afford it for now. They're coming in when you have the water company getting this increase. Power company's going to come back in the future and want more increases. We're paying high fuel bills. You know, our expenses are not declining. And when you have a fixed pot of money to draw from, it won't be long till a lot of people will be deciding, do they want to eat or pay their bills? And that's a tragedy. And it shouldn't be that way. If you're going to have increases like this, those who are on fixed incomes should be able to have an opportunity to have a different rate than all those who are able to have increasing incomes on a regular basis. People can only bleed so much money, and then it just becomes a tragedy. That's the main thing I wanted to say. So thank you.
Mr. McLaughlin, thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Those are all the names that I had written down of people who wanted to speak. Is there anybody here who, having heard comments, wanted to offer some comments of their own? Okay. Commissioner, would you like to make a closing remark?
Yes. Again, I would like to thank everyone for coming out this evening. Thank you for those that gave the comments, and the judge will give you a way to, if you want to still give comments, so we will still take those on our website. So again, thank you for coming. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you for your, hold on just a second. Thank you for your participation this evening. This is, these local public hearings are very important to the commission. We'll have a chance during the evidentiary hearing to hear from the parties, including the company, but this is our opportunity to hear from the public. And while it may be hard to listen to sometimes, we greatly appreciate your comments. If you have additional comments, or if you know someone who wanted to come tonight and was unable to, or if you know someone who would like to make comments, you can make written comments. by contacting the email address pscinfo@psc.mo.gov, by contacting the Office of the Public Counsel, which Mr. Kleiser is here from tonight. They've been very gracious about seeing that people who get comments to them, that those get filed with the commission. You can also go to the PSC's webpage, and there is a link there to offer comments. If you are going to offer comments on today's case, it is important that you know the case number because there are several cases running right now before the commission, and that would be case number WR-2024-0320. With that, I will adjourn this hearing. We'll go off the record. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you.